Hello, I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access TV.
And I'm Kim Anderson. I'm on the board of MCAT, and I also work with Humanities Montana.
Welcome to Missoula Live, our last for the season.
Our last show of the
I'm trying
spring.
not to be too happy about it, but
I'm sad.
it's nice to have a break for the summer.
For you, yes.
Yes.
This is just playtime for me, but it's work for you.
Yeah, so we've got the summer off.
I know.
So we'll see you guys after Labor Day, after this show, which will run every day for 2 weeks, which will put it right through Memorial Day weekend, and we'll certainly be hearing more about that. I just have a few things to tell you. One, MCAT advertises in this Art Evolution magazine, printed by Missoulian. And if you get a chance, I just wanted to call your attention to it. Maybe you want to pick it up. It's a guide to Missoula's public art, local artists, museums, galleries, and cultural events. And they're placing them around town. And in it, you'll find pictures and locations of public art that you may have missed, because there's a bunch around. And
it's a great resource to just kind of hang on to all year long. You know, I usually keep mine in my little junk drawer with my telephone book, and because then when people come to town or something, you've got some new ideas.
Exactly. There's all kinds of murals, sculptures around town by well-known and local artists as well. So anyway, we've got an ad in there. I don't know what it says. I think it says, like, come to MCAT. Oh, I would have forgotten.
What? Oh, it's the summer media
camps. So I would remind you that if you are living in terror of having bored children underfoot,
it's not too late?
It's not too late.
Oh,
there is room in each one of these camps. Surprisingly, the wildlife documentary camp, this camp involves going to Kate Davis's Raptor of the Rockies facility in Lolo and making a documentary about some raptor of your choice.
And that is such a great experience.
You can have an owl, a peregrine. She has some bald eagles there. And this camp is June the 22nd to the 26th. It's for kids aged 9 to 13. It's $110. It's an afternoon camp, except on the Wednesday of that week. To spend the whole day going down there. Animation camp deals with Lego and Play-Doh and stop animation and fantastic battles between imaginary creatures. This camp is July 6th through the 10th. And then finally, movie making camp. That one is July 27th through the end of the month, July 31st. And those kids are going to make one short film, like a 10-minute movie, and they'll all learn different acting parts, production parts, and post-production parts. And each camp comes with a pizza party right here in our little garage studio. And there'll be a live show, and the kids say, oh, this is what we did this week. Here's our movie, or whatever. It's very cute. So if you're interested, it's on our website, mcat.org. Call us, 542-MCAT. When I last looked, there was 3 places in movie making, 4 in animation, and only 3 kids signed up for wildlife. What's with that?
Oh my gosh.
So there's 9 places there on wildlife.
All right. Well, you haven't procrastinated too long, but get on it now.
Yeah, summer camps at MCAT. And then, MCAT-wise, we are in the midst of judging our high school film festival.
Well, speak for yourself.
You're right. I'm not judging it. But you're going to be a judge. Oh, I am. I'm a 1-minute judge. I forgot. I have a category. So kids from all over western Montana were invited to make entries, and they did. There were about 72, Kim.
Oh, my God.
I know. It's kind of frightening for the judges.
Well, I guess I know what I'll be doing this weekend.
Well, yes. You could do it on and off, and maybe your categories aren't heavily
I think you actually gave me sports, and I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Did I? Sports was heavily entered. We'll see. Maybe there's some trading up.
Yeah.
However, so the fruit of all this great labor is going to be exhibited on Thursday, May the 28th at the Roxy Theater. It's at 718 South Higgins, 7 p.m. Admission is free to see what the kids had come up with.
Oh, and it's fun.
It is fun. It's not going to be too taxing on your attention, because we'll show the 13 winners in each category. And then later on our MCAT Channel 189, we'll show the entire bounty of entries.
Oeuvre.
Yeah, the winners, the losers, everything. So anyway, that's all I have. Except thank you so much for watching through this academic season of our show.
Appreciate it.
And I will miss you guys in the summer.
Well, I just have one thing that I talked about 2 weeks ago, but I wanted to remind people, this is my last chance. On June 4th, Humanities Montana is hosting a public, free community conversation. We would like to gather a bunch of people together to talk about the common good and trade-offs between the common good and the individual. If we all could agree on what the common good was and how much we should spend on it, we would have a perfect world, but we don't. So anyway, we're going to have help from some people in Missoula, some very well-known people, including Mayor John Engen, Julie Cajun, who is a nationally recognized educator, and Mike Halligan, who is the director of the Dennis and Phyllis Washington Foundation. They're going to talk a little bit about when they've had a conflict on this very issue in their professional lives, and then we're going to open it up to people at tables to talk. And William Marcus of Montana Public Radio will be our moderator. So it should be a fun evening. It's at the Florence Building, the Governor's Room, which is right there on corner of Higgins and Front. And it's on June 4th at 7:30 p.m. It's free, and I hope we have a full house.
Great. I'm going to go. I want to figure out
I've got to get MCAT to film the first part anyway.
Yeah. So will people discuss among themselves and do that sort of go around the table? So our table said this?
I think the way we're going to set it up is the first half of the evening will be the panelists talking with William and each other about examples and their thoughts on this kind of dichotomy, and then it's going to be turned over to the tables. There'll be about 10 tables of 10, and each table will have a facilitator, and we'll use as a jumping off point the examples that our panelists gave us, and we'll have some questions to discuss and talk
Great. Oh, it sounds like it's going to be a great evening. Yes, and MCAT will record part of it for sure. All right, we're ready for Susan Renault. Welcome, Susan.
I love that. Susan, is there a holiday coming up?
Not that you know anything about it.
Well, we have two very lovely days that are going to be set aside to pay tribute to our country. And Memorial Day is Monday, May 25th.
Right.
And we have 11, count them, 11 services that begin at 10 in the morning and go until 6 at night.
Wow.
And they're all over the city of Missoula. And because of my voice, I need to tell your viewers, I had quadruple neck fusion last year, and when they put the breathing tube down my throat, they gouged my left vocal cord. So I sound a little bit like I have pneumonia, but I don't.
You feel pretty good.
Healthy.
We're glad you feel good.
I feel perfect. But anyway, Memorial Day, and Joel, I was trying to think, how long have you and I talked about this?
I want to say 12 years.
At least.
I think that, yeah, at least.
And you have always been so gracious, and you have such a lovely co-host now.
Well, thank you, Susan.
So I'm, the first service is one of the most spectacular. It is a tribute to the men and women who have died that served in the Navy and the Coast Guard.
Right.
Oh.
And so we have a beautiful red, white, and blue wreath that was made by the ladies of Grizzly Peak Retirement.
Oh, is that right?
Nice.
And the firefighters sail up in their jet ski rescue boat, and they come ashore, and the Navy man salutes and hands the wreath to the firefighter. They go back to their ship, and they circle 3 times, and then toss this beautiful wreath into the river. And then at the very moment, we have a 21-gun salute, and then they play taps, and it's...
Right.
Wow, it sounds
That's
very
the very
moving.
first one at 10 a.m. at Caras
Right.
Park.
At Caras Park. In fact, the Caras Park is having a deal where children can ride on the carousel.
Yeah, Teresa's here to talk about that.
And I'm
among others.
I'm hoping that people from that crowd will come over and enjoy our service.
Right.
But it's filled with wonderful Kodak moments and very inspirational. After Keras Park, we get on a bus that has been provided to us by Beach Transportation free of charge.
And they have every year, right?
They do. We are not allowing the general public to get on it, but all of our honor and color guards do.
Yeah.
And we go to the courthouse, and this year we have a captain in the United States Army National Guard, Aaron Flint, as our keynote speaker. He has been to Fallujah and Ramadi and all over Iraq and Afghanistan because he's a language specialist. And he is going to talk in honor of the people that have died in the military. So that is at the courthouse at 11. And we do the 21-gun salute, and we have buckets of flowers, red, white, and blue flowers, that have been given to us by Benson Farm.
Oh, how nice. That's a great contribution.
It's very pretty. And we take them to the Doughboy statue at the corner of Ryman and Broadway, and we bless them. And then after we finish that service, we go all over. Do you want me to go through all of them? What do you want me to
you
do?
don't have to.
There's so many.
I could highlight
But-
this just for the people listening.
Yes.
That there is a
Rest my
Western,
voice.
you take a rest, Western Montana State Veterans Cemetery. That's, at noon, I skipped one, see? At noon, there's the Fort Missoula Military Cemetery, honor and color guards, wreath placement at the base of Old Beck Monument, and 21-gun salute. At 12:30 to 1, Western Montana State Veterans Cemetery, dedicated to 5 local World War II veterans and all World War II veterans that have died. Keynote speaker at that event is U.S. Senator Steve Daines and U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Yakowicz.
That's it. And
Correct.
he's now retired.
Retired.
Yep.
Triple flyover by St. Patrick Hospital MedStar helicopter, 21-gun salute, and formal dedication of the Avenue of Flags.
And in addition, I want to jump in here. Throughout these ceremonies, we have a bagpiper, John Haffey, who is going to lead the honor and color guards. And we have participation from the Knights of Columbus, Patriotic Order, the American Legion, and the VFW, and the Civil Air Patrol, and the Boy Scouts of America.
Oh, wow, you got a lot. And Susan's organization, in case you're interested, is United Veterans Council of Missoula and Ravalli County. If you do have questions, is it okay to give out the phone?
Oh, absolutely.
251-5116 or email bluemountain@montana.com.
Yes.
So it doesn't stop, though.
No.
We just did that. But at 1:15 to
But wait, there's
more. These times are approximate because you'll be traveling.
Right. And we have to contend with
boom.
midday traffic.
Yes. At the Sunset Memorial Cemetery, there'll be a lunch break, honor and color guards, wreath placement, new flag dedication at the flagpole, 21-gun salute. And as I say that, it reminds me, as you said before we started the program, you really need people to be a part of that honor guard, right?
We do, and color guard.
And
the color guard is with the American Legion. They just carry the flags. The VFW does the 21-gun salute shooting.
Right. You need people to participate. So,
But to be a color guard or in an honor guard, you have to be a vet. So we need some young vets to...
Right. Because it could be any conflict, right? You don't have to be a World War II vet.
It doesn't even have to be a conflict.
You just have served.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I say 1:15 to 2? Yes.
Yes.
2:15 to 3 p.m. approximate time, Missoula City Cemetery, Veteran Memorial, St. Mary's Annex Cemetery, Statue, and St. Mary's Cemetery, the Veteran Memorial there. And
now let me jump in.
Go ahead.
Rose Park is a big ceremony.
The one at 3:15, next on the list.
And it's 2 services. The first is the traditional Memorial Day service, where we line up at the Korean Memorial and walk to the Vietnam Memorial.
Right.
And Wei Sims, who was with First Security Bank and was a swift boat captain in Vietnam, is going to talk in front of the Vietnam Memorial. we end that, and then we go to every monument throughout the park, and we lay a wreath at the base of each monument, and we say a prayer. And then at the end of the second service, we do the 21 gun salute, and we do the playing of taps.
Okay.
And our final service is at the University of Montana, and we do a beautiful service for the Iraq, Afghanistan veterans who have died. And that's it.
Right. That's a lot, though. And that is a fairly young memorial, the one at the university, right?
Yeah.
And
where on campus will that be?
It's at the Oval in front of the Iraq, Afghanistan monument.
Right, okay.
And a guy that has been to Iran 3 times is going to be a keynote speaker. He's a young guy. Sam Redfern is going to talk.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
And then that would be it. And then all the honor guards and everybody collapses.
Right.
Well, it's a day, isn't it? Starting early.
I know
ending
that
late.
we're going to have to move on to some other guests they're telling us, but I know you wanted to say quickly something about Flag Day.
Yes, Flag Day,
We're going to do a Flag
14th.
Day service at the American Legion Mavericks baseball field, the open field, which is on Tower Street,
Yeah.
June 14th
June 14th.
at 2 p.m.
All right, so that's coming ahead, but there is a Memorial Day service geared just for you. And
There's got to be.
yeah,
One, two,
because there's a lot of them.
Right.
So once again, the phone numbers that people need to know.
251-5116. That's your home phone, right? Isn't
It's
it?
office. It's
Office
my
phone.
office
Okay.
phone.
Good.
But if you do have questions, about getting about or where any of these are located, right?
Will
feel
this
free to
schedule
call
be
Susan.
like in the newspaper,
Yes,
Susan? So-
and my email at work is bluemountain@montana.com. Because of my voice, I prefer people to email me.
Sure.
And I'll send this schedule.
Oh, well, that
There
would be
you
the
go.
best then.
That's the best idea.
Great. Well, thank you
Susan,
for
yeah,
your
it's a
work on
pleasure
this.
To see you again.
It's good to see you. I'm sorry I sound like a frog.
That's
Well,
all right. And
you
tell
are a
Jackie's big
vision.
baby.
I'm a vision.
You are. You
That's
really
something
are.
you could say.
Yes.
Well, we've got a lot more guests on our final show, so stay with us. They're going to show you a
Yes.
public service announcement. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Scott Raff,
My name is Noel McAvoy, and I'm one of the hosts of your hyper-local morning show, Wake Up Missoula.
and I host this morning show called Wake Up Missoula. It's a hyper-local morning show on Missoula Community Access Television.
Wake Up Missoula airs Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings at 8 a.m. on channel 189.
You can find out more information by logging on to mcat.org. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure we're on Google somewhere.
We are all about Missoula, everything local.
And you can also find us on YouTube. We post all our videos from our show.
We air 3 days a week. It's a lot of fun, and if you would ever want to be on our show, you can contact us at 542-MCAT.
Here's your bear spray, babe.
I don't need it. I can outrun them. Look, I ran track in high school.
No, you can't. You're not supposed to run from bears. And you did the shot put.
Okay, I'll spray down.
What? No, don't spray it!
Ah! My face is burning! My face is burning now! Ah!
When hunting in bear country, understand it puts you at risk. Be smart. Be safe.
Can you spot the person with a brain injury? How about here? Or here? You can't always see.
Oh, hi, Glenn.
Hi. Joel has gone to fix some mysterious technical thing. I don't know why they didn't send me, but they sent Joel. So I am here with Teresa Cox from the Carousel, and you've got another big day coming up, right?
We do. It's Kids Day. We do Kids Day every year. It's the Saturday Memorial Day weekend, and we give free rides all day. But because this is our 20th anniversary, we have some extra things planned for Kids Day. Some of you may have heard that there's a track meet, but I didn't get enough entries, so that's been canceled. So don't come at 8:30 for the track meet. But at 9:45, we will be at the Caras Park Pavilion stage, and our board president and another member of our board will welcome everyone, and then we'll take a parade over, just a walking parade over to the carousel like we did when the carousel first opened. And we'll do free rides from 10 until 7. But we will also have glitter tattoos and photo balloons and cotton candy and ice cream and all sorts of fun things happening on the plaza as well. So it's going to be a really fun day. Hope that people come down and help us celebrate that we have been here for 2 decades. It's amazing.
What a great birthday party. I mean, it just seems like a few years ago that it was all the excitement of the carousel finally opening and the great story that has been for this community. So this is 20 years. It's a huge celebration.
And it says a lot about this community. I do tours sometimes for out-of-town adult groups, and they'll say, you know, we couldn't do this where I lived. And that is such an important thing for me about running the carousel.
Yeah.
Is that the way it happened and the way Dragon Hollow happened, and it's just a statement about Missoula. We are generous. We are particularly generous to our children, and we always work to make the community better.
Well, and it sounds like now you guys are really giving back to the kids in our community with a big party for them.
We try to give back as much as we can. And for adults, well, kids could come too, but in June, on June 18th, we're having a gala. I don't know the right
I think either is correct.
Okay. At the Ranch Club. And that's a pretty big fundraiser for us. So people are welcome to call the carousel at 549-8382 to get tickets for that. And it'll be a fabulous dinner. John Floridis is performing for us, and we'll have a silent auction and a live auction. So that'll be a pretty fun event for us as well.
And what's the date on that?
June 18th.
June 18th.
Right.
Because, I mean, it's important to remember, I think, we're all so proud that we have this carousel in our community, but like all nonprofits, it continually needs fundraising and care in order to be sustainable. So people who really love the carousel and are so proud that it's in our community should support by coming to a great night. It sounds like a lot of fun. It's going to be food and...
Yes.
Yeah, so.
And generally, because we make money from operations, we only have to raise about $70,000 a year, which is pretty good for a not-for-profit.
It sure is.
Especially when used as much as we are.
Yeah.
This year, we're also working on raising funds to build an expansion to the building.
Oh, really?
Working on the expansion funds as well, and would be incredibly grateful if anybody wanted to donate to the expansion fund too.
Well, that sounds intriguing. What's the plan to expand?
We're going 20 feet to the east, just at the back side of the building. And we'll build a workshop, a bigger workshop for the carvers, because right now they're in the back of the gift shop. So the gift shop doesn't have enough room.
Right, it's crowded in there, yeah.
So the gift shop will go back to its original size, and then we'll also build a museum. So we can tell this story about how the carousel on Dragon Hollow came to be, and how Missoula is reorienting itself toward the river.
Yes, because that's a big part of the story.
Right, on a passive level. So you can just walk through and read things for yourself. And we have a documentary DVD that'll be playing, that you guys helped, that MCAT helped us produce. Because we want people to understand it's not just another carousel. It's a symbol about the generosity of this community. So if just people who come, we do half of our rides in the summertime. A lot of visitors come through the carousel, and we want them to be able to know why the carousel is there and all of the great stuff about this community.
Yeah, because sharing the story is what brings it to more people and gives people ideas and hope in their towns and their communities. Right. So, Teresa, have you been with the carousel from the very beginning?
As soon as the project went public in 1991, I became a volunteer, first board of directors. And then Chuck Caprich, who started the idea, was the first executive director, and he did that for about 2 weeks. And then I became the executive director after that. He wanted to build it. He didn't really want to run it.
Right. Well, it's been in great hands with you. What are the summer operation hours in general?
Generally, in the summer, we say we're open from 11 to 7. We're almost always open from 10 to 9. But by saying it's 11 to 7, it gives us time to do private rentals before or after those hours if we need to.
Sure.
But, people should call any day and say, so how long are you open today?
Right.
And it's almost always 10 until 9.
Okay, and once again, the big birthday party, Kids Day, 20th.
Kids Day is Saturday, the 23rd.
Excellent. So go on down, get a free ride, get a balloon, some cotton candy, some glitter. Yep. Who knows?
And the balloons are awesome. I should have brought one, but we'll put your face on the balloon, surrounded by a little ring of carousel horses.
Oh my gosh!
It's really, really cool.
Okay, for that alone.
Printer and you can do that. Yeah.
Well, thanks as always,
Thank you so
Teresa,
much.
for coming by. I'm sure it'll be a fun day and a great summer.
Well, I hope you come and join us.
Oh, yeah, I'll be down.
Thank you.
All right. Scott, are we going to go to a public service announcement anytime soon?
I have the power.
I have the power.
I have the power.
I'm Attorney General Tim Fox. You have the power to report suspected child abuse. All it takes is one phone call to 1-866-820-KIDS. If you even suspect child abuse, call.
You have the power to protect Montana's kids.
This message is brought to you by the Montana Attorney General's Office, the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services, and Northwestern Energy.
It wasn't picking before.
If you keep tanning, indoors or out, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Wrinkles, age spots, and an increased risk of skin cancer, including melanoma.
This whole situation.
We got older, people.
We're back.
We're back with Mark Moss. He's going to talk about the upcoming Tell Us Something. Is it at the top hat?
It is. It's at the top hat again.
June 9th.
June 9th. And we are full for storytellers
That's
already.
Great.
Yeah.
Can you tell people about Tell Us Something? Should they, they're like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, sure.
What does it mean?
Yeah. So Tell Us Something is a storytelling event here in Missoula that we put on 4 times a year. We've been doing it for 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, we were getting around 100 people, 150 people to come at 6 o'clock on Tuesday night is when we always do it. And the reason being is because we do it at the Top Hat. I knew Greta Gar when she was running it because she works with my wife at Rock and Rudy's.
Okay.
And I said, hey, can I do this thing at your bar? And she was like, sure. And so I said, what's the slowest night? And she said Tuesday. And so that's how it came to be on Tuesday. And what happens is up to 10, between 8 and 10 storytellers have 10 minutes to tell a true story, a true personal story from memory. And the stories are all based on a theme. Past themes include, we had rites of passage, we did promises, be
Did
careful
you do
what
things
you
we
wish for.
carry? I can't
We did
remember
things
the
we carry.
library and the big
Yes.
read and
Yep,
everything.
this is part of the big read. And I was actually really worried about what stories were going to come out of that theme, because it's a pretty esoteric theme. And they brought their A game.
It was really
they
moving.
always do.
Yeah. Well, and so this has now grown in over the 4 years from the slowest night at the Top Hat to you better get there early if you want to get in the door.
I walked
right?
in there to get set up last time in February. The theme was adventure. And I walked in at 4:30 and there were already people
Wow.
For the 6
For the
o'clock.
6 o'clock
Yeah.
show.
90 minutes ahead of time.
Yeah. And but I mean they have food there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Right,
It's
so
not
they
like a
were-
huge hardship.
Yeah.
You have
I
a
was
beer
at the bar
and-
90 minutes. Just waiting for something.
No, I mean, I'm sure they were well entertained. They had plenty to drink. Yeah.
And is it free? It's free.
It's been free. It has been free. It is not free anymore. It's $5. And that money is going to things like podcast production, because we podcast all of these, and you can subscribe to the podcast at tellussomething.org.
Beautiful website. I don't know if Scott had put it up, but it looks like you've got a great design.
Just finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I quit my job recently to do this full time.
Oh, no kidding.
This is really impressive what you've grown.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting paid yet.
Okay.
And that'll come.
Yeah, with
what I want is
the movie's 8 or something.
I don't ever want it to be above 5, and the way I came up with that is I don't know if you know Fugazi, the punk band.
Yeah.
Well, Mary Canty, who used to work here, her brother
was the drummer. Yeah. And they still only charge $5.
Oh,
yeah. So anyway, I always said I always wanted it to be free, and I do always want it to be affordable. The podcast is free. We're starting to do video now, and the video obviously is on YouTube. It's free.
So anyone can hear the stories.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't get down to the top hat, they're there for you. But I mean, really, it was standing room only, people out in the streets. So at some point, you do need to, pay yourself.
Can they donate on the website?
Oh yeah.
See?
Yep. So if you go to tellussomething.org, right at the top of the website, it says click here to donate. We are now fiscally sponsored by the Missoula Community Foundation.
Okay, good.
Which that doesn't mean we're funded. What that means is we can act like a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Right.
They take a little cut off of every donation that comes in.
You guys participated in the Give Local.
We did.
Were on the show.
That was fun.
Raise awareness.
That was
for Give Local.
Exhausting.
I bet, but you were posting.
I was up for 20 hours, and I thanked people as soon as they donated. I thanked them publicly, and I'm still writing thank you cards by hand right now.
Wow.
Good. That's good work to have.
Yeah.
So what is the theme for the show coming up?
June 9th, 6 p.m. It's a Tuesday night. The theme is, oops, I changed my mind.
That's really good.
That should be fun.
People want to become storytellers. They want to be a participant. What do? They go to the website?
They can go to the website.
You pitch it on a phone number?
There's a way to do that too. Most people haven't been using that feature.
Okay.
So, I mean, if they want to, they can call 203-4683 and they have 3 minutes to pitch their story.
Yeah.
But the most common way is people just run into me on the street and say, hey, aren't you the Tell Us Something guy?
Yeah.
I have a thing I want to do.
How do I tell a story? And I say, what's your name? And what's your email address? You're signed up. And they're like, oh, God.
Well, that's pretty accepting. But I saw on the website, I was looking it up, and it said something about a mandatory workshop.
Yes, there is.
So that you are refining.
Yes.
That's why it's become so popular, is that every single story is riveting, and it's either funny or moving, and that doesn't just happen.
No, no. And the storytellers, too, are just people like us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that part.
There are sometimes there are actors, sometimes there are writers.
But we're all extroverts. We're having this show, so
right.
it doesn't exactly
But I
count.
mean,
but there's a lot more than
and there's
one
some
thing.
really shy people too, and
They do it, really?
yeah, and just regular everyday folks, and they get a hold of me on the website. They get a hold of me in person. Sometimes I'm recruiting people, and what the workshop is we get together, and so the stories are supposed to be 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So what happens at the workshop, it's a potluck. We have it at my house. Super informal.
Oh, this doesn't sound so hard.
It's not hard. And I put a stopwatch and they tell their story until it's over. And then I say, your story was 25 minutes long or 6 minutes long or whatever it is.
Right.
And then I get out of the way. Because the storytellers help each other. And they say, that was really interesting. Oh, when you talked about that, that was really distracting. Like,
oh, gotcha.
Right.
well, I want to hear more about this, or whatever it might be. And they all help build each other's stories. They build each other up. And at the end, I just get out of the way and let them do all that. But at the end, if there's something that they missed, I'll jump in and say, oh, and this and this and this.
Right.
One of the new things that I just recently learned is what to do if you're being interrupted during your story.
Hecklers?
No, we had one heckler, and I addressed that privately.
Yeah.
But just people talking.
Oh, I see.
And I found that the easiest thing to do, it's the hardest thing in the world to do, but the easiest way to make them shut up is just to stop talking.
Yeah, that works.
And it's like everyone around them is like, hey man, shut up. So I don't have to do any work. I just have to be quiet for 30 seconds, and that's terrifying to do on this stage.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, I just think that you have brought a renewal or vitalization of storytelling, which is about people just communicating with each other. It's what Humanities Montana is all about. I just think it's great, and thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm just a conduit. It's the people that are up there that
Well,
are
you're the
making
one
it
making
happen.
it happen.
Well, they are making it happen. I'm just like the conductor.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Tuesday,
Tuesday, June 9th.
Oops, I changed my mind.
That's right. And the other thing that's real fun that's coming up is I am starting to offer storytelling workshop for children.
Oh,
for youth.
that is going to happen.
Yeah,
Great.
it's happening right now. I'm sort of refining that process with Stephanie Wing. She's a teacher at Willard High School. And I'm doing workshops in her classroom right now at juniors and seniors. And starting the last week of June, we'll have a half-day, week-long workshop at the ZAC, Zootown Community Arts Center, for 10 to 15-year-olds.
Oh, that's great.
And that will culminate with a Tell Us Something event at the top hat.
Oh, that's really
Wow.
cool.
Yeah.
Those kids are going to be rock stars.
Yeah.
Well, that's fabulous. And so all the information about the summer programs is on the website?
Everything is on the website. TellUsSomething.org is how you can find out all that. Starting to do a little blogging too, kind of about what the process is like, and you can like us on Facebook, subscribe to the podcast. It's not easy to do yet with iTunes because it hasn't been approved, but you can still subscribe to the podcast, and it's pretty fun.
All right.
All right,
Yeah.
Mark, thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you know that. And we've got more people. They're waiting in the wings. We'll be back faster right after this.
Chip.
Whenever you cough or sneeze, cover your mouth. Do so, please.
Hi, Mom. How are you today?
Oh, I'm fine. How's Chelsea?
Well, she's doing okay. She is struggling, but she's going to be all right. The reason I came to talk to you today is about her safety.
What do you mean?
Well, we need to talk about the way you're storing your medications.
What's wrong with the way I store my medication? I've been doing it for years.
I know, but there's a better, safer way. A way that we can keep them locked up to keep our kids safe.
Proper use, proper storage, proper disposal. Choices matter, Missoula.
Child abuse is more common in Montana than people may realize.
So it looks...
We're back. We are back with representatives from Jeanette Rankin Peace Center, Harold and Maggie. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Now, before we came back, we were talking about conferences you have put on in the past. And what I suspect is this is a peace conference.
It is.
It's a good guess.
Thanks.
Good bingo. Win a prize.
Yeah.
And when it's time, we have a...
Oh.
Oh, well, it's time.
All right.
Hold it
It
up.
looks really nice.
It is.
I like
It's a
the
beautiful
title,
poster.
too. It's Rising from the Ashes, How Do We Create Peace from Chaos, Confusion, and Conflict.
Yes.
Saturday, June the 13th, all day, 8:30 to 5:30 at the University Congregational Church at 4, can't read it,
405.
405 University
University.
Avenue.
Yeah.
All day.
And actually, there'll be a reception and some music by Lawrence Duncan at 5:30. So
Right, in the
they'll-
courtyard outside, weather permitting, I read that.
So tell us a little bit about how this all came about and what you're hoping will happen.
Harold came about with it. He came to us, this was the second time, I think, but this was the time that it was the right time. And so Betsy sent out Betsy's the executive director of the Peace Center. She sent out an email, Harold's come to us with his proposal, who's interested, and I said yes. So there's been about 5 or 6 of us that have been meeting pretty much weekly since then. And because Harold knows all about open space technology and I have never had any experience of it, I'm looking forward to finding out what that's going to be like. But it's been really exciting to put together a peace conference, a peace unconference.
The peace unconference.
Yes, yes.
And there must be a history behind it. People say, oh, I'm burnt out on conferences. I can't go to another conference.
Yes.
I don't want to listen to another lecture. If I see PowerPoint one more time,
that's correct.
Something like that, and this unconference movement began.
Exactly. Harrison Owen was doing a traditional conference, and this was back in 1985, and the people told him, you know, it was a good conference, but the best part were the coffee breaks.
Yeah.
And he said, screw this. And the story basically is at the bottom of his second martini in woes about never wanting to put basically what was 18 months of work for people saying the best part was the part he had nothing to do with. He thought his work with the Peace Corps. He worked with the Peace Corps in Africa, and he saw that people solved issues, and whenever they had an issue, they got together in a circle. So this is actually a circle process, and circle processes are becoming more and more prevalent. When it was first being done in '84, people would come into the conference room and see everyone seated in a circle and say, you know, what's going on? Something odd is happening.
They wanted a presentation, like the expert was up there.
Well, I don't know if that's what they really wanted, but that's what they were expecting.
Right, that's what they were used to.
So this will be an unconference in that way? Participants would expect to participate?
Well, so this is something, so I basically have left my programming job and now I'm doing this kind of work full time.
Interesting, good for you.
And so there's a big revolution happening in the workplace these days, and one of the movements is called self-management.
I was just talking about that this afternoon. I wanted here at MCAT because I said I'm getting so tired. I want everyone to be more self-sufficient. And there was something in the Facebook feeds about Zappos, a huge shoe distributor, and the people saying, you manage yourself or something like that.
Yeah, and so what's really amazing is that when people feel like they're being invited and they can say no to the invitation or yes, they can show up entirely with their whole self. Because there was a recent poll done by Gartner Group, and they found that something like less than 20% of the workforce feels engaged.
Right.
So like 1/5 of people's are showing up in their job in the 8 hours that they're there, which means you're getting like a little between 1 and 2 hours of work out of them. Well, if people are being told what to do by managers and bosses that tell them what to do, then they'll show up with that part of them that doesn't want to get beat up about it, but they can't really say fully yes if they can't say no. And so what this open space is all about is using a deep understanding of invitation to let people say yes to whatever they want to do at the event or no, and allowing people the opportunity to offer their gifts to the community in this same spirit of invitation. And so we've got some really great things, great people coming. There's a woman from Tokyo who's leading the Center for Ethical Leadership's Peacemaking and Healing Initiative in Seattle, and she's bringing a Native American process for peace circles that's doing really wonderful things in the Puget Sound area.
Wow.
Patrick Marsalik is a local celebrity. He's going to be bringing some, I was going to let Maggie talk about, she knows Patrick better.
Well, I do.
What's he doing?
Well, one of his things is compassionate communication.
Yeah.
And he also teaches tango. And I know that in a class that he was doing on campus, he was using tango to help people understand how to do compassionate communication.
It takes two to do
Why
that.
don't you bring that to the conference? I don't know if he will, but sounds pretty exciting to me.
Wow, yeah.
And Lizzie Judah is from the Hive and also Turning the Wheel. She's an amazing community leader, and she'll be doing a little lightning keynote at the beginning, and also participating in the
Can you
conference.
explain that to people? It might be a phrase they haven't heard. Lightning keynote.
So instead of a long, drawn-out keynote where they have PowerPoints and yada yada, and you have to sit obediently like a student in school for an hour or longer, these are 5 to 10 minutes, even shorter than a TED Talk, if you've seen TED Talks. And it'll give people a chance to get enlightenment, but quickly.
Okay. And then a lot of it, so the focus of this conference will be on the participants participating. So rather than there's a proscenium line drawn between like a theater, there's up there the expert, and down here the absorbers. It's going to be like that coffee break you mentioned.
Yes.
And people are going to mingle, networking, or I have this idea, or you do this. And oh, do you really? Wow.
And one of the things I think is I think it's an interesting concept, which I'm looking forward to seeing it in practice, is the law of 2 feet. Which means if you're someplace and you're not feeling you're making a contribution and you're not getting anything out of it, then use the rule of 2 feet. To use your 2 feet to walk away and go find some other place where you're a better fit. So so you can just move around during the day. There'll be lots of things going on, and maybe you really are interested in half a dozen or more, so you can move around. There's plenty of, that's the thing, it's very fluid.
Nice. And I like University Congregational Church. I've been there mostly for memorial services, but it seems very welcoming, the architecture, and there seem to be a lot of people spaces, including that courtyard.
Now, should people register ahead of time for the conference?
That would be wise, because there's a limited amount of space, and if they don't register, then they show up at the day of the event that there might not be.
Right.
But they can show up at the day of the event, and there's a chance there'll be space. We'll try to make.
But I can imagine that beforehand you can just pop into the Peace Center or go on the website.
Absolutely, jrpc.org.
Right,
Great.
and there'll be a tab or something. Where like, oh, I registered for the conference. Is it expensive?
No. It's free to members of the Peace Center, and it's only $15 for people who aren't members. But of course, I'm going to encourage them to become members, because that's part of my job as being on the membership committee. This is why this conference is so exciting to me, is because we really wanted to find a way to engage all of our members. And this is the most golden opportunity that could possibly come along. And so we also hope to increase our membership.
Sure.
And $15 is less than what it costs to be a member, but you can become a sustaining member for only $5 a month. So I'm hoping that we'll get some sustaining members out of that.
Yeah.
I can't remember, I don't know if Scott, I was not looking, if he showed the website to people. It's long, right? Is it
No, just jrpc.org.
Right.
And there'll be a picture of the phoenix if you show it. If you go at the top, if they click on that top where the little picture of the bird.
That will lead to conference registration.
That will they'll learn more. And they'll also learn about one of the people in the committee that's really amazing. Dr. Kimberly Maynard is a Mansfield Fellow. She lectures at the university, and she goes around the world, international politics, and doing some amazing things. And apparently she told a story at one of Tell Us Somethings.
Oh,
see, small world.
Yeah, small world.
Oh, connected.
I know, speaking of small world, how many more guests do we have?
2 more.
Oh, geez.
Oh, we better get going.
Okay, so the date again, the date of the
June
conference,
13th,
June
Saturday.
13th. Okay, go to the
8:30 to
website,
5:30.
pop into the Peace Center to reserve a space for yourself. It's going to be a great day. It sounds really exciting.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming by, Maggie and Harold.
Thank you.
We'll be right back because we have 2 more guests in 10 minutes left.
Child abuse is more common in Montana than people may realize. I'm Montana Attorney General Tim Fox. You have the power to report suspected child abuse. Call 1-866-820-KIDS.
This message is brought to you by the Montana Attorney General's Office, the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services, and Northwestern Energy.
Oh, hey! We didn't notice you there.
right now. And over the past summer, we've had many of them, so many that I can't keep track. And during these camps, we've had groups making movies all day long.
I don't care.
It's a really great thing. And you can sign your child up today. The thing is, MCAT camps are amazing and fun, and everyone loves them. So
We're right back. That was Matt Knight, our camper from last year, doing that pitch for MCAT summer camp. So just say that. Anna Simple is here. She's representing the Missoula Forum for Children and Youth and a particular division thereof. I can't remember the name of it.
I coordinate the Healthy Start Network.
Yes.
So it's our early childhood network. We have different service providers ranging from the health department to Child Development Center, Head Start.
Right.
Yeah.
An event is coming up. That's why I asked Anna to come on the show.
Yeah, on May 28th, we have our State of the Young Child event. We have a luncheon from 11:30 to 1, which features Governor Bullock as our featured speaker.
Wow.
Nice.
Excited about that. We
Yeah.
also have the foster child health team talking about a really unique collaboration that they have, and Montana Kids Count will be speaking about kind of how Missoula shapes up in the numbers as far as early childhood goes.
Oh, see, that's really good.
Yeah, it sounds like a big event. So where is it going to be?
It's at St. Patrick Hospital in their conference center.
Beautiful.
Oh, Conference Center is beautiful.
It
That's
is.
true.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. And we have a training along with that that's kind of specific for early childhood service providers. It's the Ages and Stages Questionnaire development training. But the luncheon is open to the public. We are pretty much sold out at this point, but we do have some space and we may be expanding that. And so if people can email me, and I'm happy to put them on the waiting list or give them the secret password to register. So.
Oh, great.
So, are they putting
We
up
had the
email?
website up.
Oh, they did.
There we go, right there. Healthy
But
Start
then, will they
Missoula.
find you easily enough?
Yeah,
to
so
email?
Anna at MissoulaForum.org.
Right.
And if you click on the registration link, it will say, sorry, we're full right now, but please email me. So it'll get you
Right.
back where you need to be.
And here they'll talk about different statistical notions like childhood obesity. What other, I mean, everyone
Just
thinks
some-
childhood
yeah.
health trouble, obesity.
Yeah.
There's got to be more to the story.
So the forum promotes underage substance abuse prevention, and that's really our focus. And with early childhood, all of the efforts we do in early childhood for prevention really prevent all negative behaviors in general. So
It is kind of shocking, but
yeah,
it seems to be true.
yeah, it kind of, if you treat kids right and you give them what they need when they're small,
Yeah.
it really benefits in every way older. So we have mental health, physical health, and school readiness are the topics that we're focusing on. The governor has a big push for early education, and while that bill did not pass at this point, we know that preschool is really crucial, and he's got a lot of really good information about that. We also, the Foster Child Health Program talks about mental health as well as physical health. And then Kids Count, Montana ranks 50th in the nation as far as overall child health. And
You mean the bottom?
the bottom of the whole country.
Whoa.
And mostly that's because of underage substance use and suicide rates. We really have a hard time with both of those. And while those are more teenage problems, they are really tied to trauma in childhood.
It starts at the very beginning.
Yeah. So how can we talk about kind of those upstream issues? How can we prevent
Right.
it before it even gets to that point?
So much easier to stop it before it starts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a great event, and for people who are super interested, you can still get in, but you should get on that website
Click
now.
right away.
The numbers just kept jumping up until
That's
this
great.
morning. It's so
Well,
exciting.
it is. You're right. It's a very, very important issue for Governor Bullock, and I'm sure everyone wants to hear what he has to say about it.
Definitely.
All right, Anna, we better go because we're so bad. We have to bring Matt Anglin from Cultural Council out, so we'll be right back in 30 seconds.
All right.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brymere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
How long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, It looks like I have an officer about a mile from...
Oh, we're back.
We have a final guest.
Yes. Matt Anglin is here from Missoula Cultural Council. Thank you, Matt.
Thank
waiting
you.
and coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you know it.
You have a fun summer program coming up.
I do, yeah, and everybody can get involved too.
Okay, tell us about it.
So it's called The Last Best Solstice, Art on the River. It's a very long title. And basically what it is, it's a riverfront gallery and artist showcase. So we've got about 30 different artists, visual artists, coming down to Best Reed Park behind the Holiday Inn. They're going to set up a sort of makeshift gallery. Pieces will be for sale. A number of local galleries are also going to be down there participating. And then all the artists will be creating work on the spot or showing you how they make their particular brand of art, which is just a lot of fun. You can talk to them, find out more about like what goes into a piece.
Yeah.
Just see it come to life over the course of the day.
Great, and it's right around, or it is the very longest day of sunshine of the year?
It is the longest day.
Whoa.
So we thought it would be fitting in Missoula to fill that with art. So
Yes, of course. What else?
Perfect.
Now, you've been doing this for a few years, right?
We have, yeah. This will be the 4th year we've done
And
this.
it's just kind of been growing and word of mouth.
It's been going through, some different changes, but growing for the better, I think. Yeah.
Will artists be making sales on that day, or is it more like a show and tell?
No, you can buy any of the art that's there.
Wow, that's pretty nice.
Take it home.
Yeah. Okay, I hate to even ask this, but what if it rains?
Well, if it rains, we've got a backup plan. We're going to go inside the Holiday Inn into the
Right,
ballroom.
because I'm just imagining a bunch of watercolorists
It would be terrible.
crying.
Suddenly becoming abstract.
Right, exactly. My landscape.
Oh, so you do have the backup plan.
We do have a backup plan.
Okay.
So
Okay,
it's
but
Montana,
it
you have
won't
to.
rain. I don't even know why I brought that
And
up.
the event is free.
Yep, free and open to the public. Definitely.
Now, how did you choose the artists, and how do they get involved?
Well, a number of them applied through our website. We put out a big call to artists, took in applications, and then we had a selection committee of community members and members of our board come together and kind of review all the applications. And,
Yeah, so this is kind of an adjudicated process. These are well-known.
That's right, and we have a
Missoula
lot of
area
very
artists.
talented, well-known artists. Yeah. And then some of the other artists will be coming from the galleries themselves. So places like the Clay Studio in Missoula and E3 and
Dana Gallery.
Yeah, we've got a lot of different galleries involved.
Oh, that's really great. And there was one other item you wanted to talk about in your email, remember? And I can't remember what it was.
That's right. Well, at the very end of this month, on the 30th, we're hosting New Zealand Day.
Oh, right, and we just saw that on the website. When they showed it on the website, I thought, oh, there we go.
Palmerston West.
North.
North.
Palmerston North.
So close.
You got the first part right. That's
Palmerston
the tricky
North,
one, right?
New Zealand.
Right.
That's right. That's
And
our
the
sister city.
country, right.
Yep.
And the one from Germany?
Is Neckargemünd.
Yeah, I love that name. Neckargemünd. So this is great. This one is more for Palmerston North, the New Zealand sister city.
That's right, and true to form, we'll have a lot of rugby at
Rugby,
the event.
yep.
That ties our cities together pretty well.
Right.
So in the beginning of the day, all ages workshops, completely free. You can learn how to play rugby if you don't know how.
Wow.
Bring your kids; they can play rugby. Be a lot of fun. We're going to be at the Fort Missoula, Fort Missoula Field.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then in the evening, we're going to be down at the Roxy Theater, and we're going to watch What We Do in the Shadows, which is a really
that looks really interesting.
funny.
I saw that just today.
It's a New Zealand-made film.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
So this Sister City campaign is kind of groovy. It's been going on for a long time. Years ago when I was covering city council, members of Palmerston North had come to Missoula and were observing the council. And they were very surprised that the people that gave public comment had their back to all the other people in the city set up as they have it now, whereas those guys came, such that the council members and everybody else were addressed at the same time. Oh, he's saying we have to stop.
Right.
Well, darn it. Matt, thanks so much. So
Yeah.
2 events, May 30th for the Sister City event.
That's right. And then June 21st.
Summer
for the
solstice.
Summer solstice.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and then I know there'll be a ton of stuff going on in the summer. Thank you guys for all you do.
Really?
We
Thank you.
can always count on something cultural happening in
We
Missoula.
And thank you guys for watching our last season finale of Missoula Live. We'll see you after Labor Day
Yes.
in September, so have a great, happy, and safe summer.
Have a great summer. We'll miss you.
We will. So for MCAT, I'm Joel Baird.
And I'm Kim Anderson.
Thanks for watching.